It's week 9 of the 2018 high school football season, and tonight from Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium, it's our ICT and District 6A Game of the Week as the Cardinals of MacArthur play host to the Marauders of Mound, Marcus. Hello again, everyone, on this first day of November. John Nelson with Rob Willman. The Cardinals of Mac coming off a 24-17 loss to Hebron. Marcus comes in also as a loser, big time to Flower Mound, 59-21, but both teams at 2-3 in district play. Marcus comes in averaging 27 points a game, and the Cards of head coach Ronnie Mullins averaging 22. It's just the district losses and what could have been early for the Cardinals. They have lost 3 district games by an average of 6 points. And in all red tonight, this homecoming evening, there you see the Marauders in road white with red numbers. We'll see a variety of receivers tonight for Marcus. They will receive the opening kickoff. 15 different receivers have caught balls, so pressure on the Cardinal defense tonight in the secondary and especially in the middle. So Marcus and MacArthur meeting for the 3rd time in their history, and with tonight's call, here's Rob Willman.
All right, John, thank you very much. A little cool in the air a day after Halloween. We dodged the rain, thank goodness, since the season started with a lot of it. Joel Sabando will tee things off for the Cardinals, and it's a little punch kick, and it kind of falls in no man's land. Ty Johnson will go back. He still fumbles it and grabs it back in and has it, about his own 2 or 3 yard line. So a little disaster there possibly for Marcus to start things off. Starting lineups offensively, John.
All right, for the Marcus Marauders, averaging 27 points a game. The offensive line anchored by Jacob Hoffman. They've done a nice job this year. Quarterback and receivers averaging 205 yards of passing a game. Garrick Nussmeyer, tonight's starting quarterback, completing 56% of his passes. The leading rusher is Justin Dinka. Dinka closing in on 700 yards.
1st and 10 on their own, call it 3-yard line. And they're going to pass from the get-go. Nussmeyer had nowhere to go. Nice pressure provided by the Cardinals right off the chute. Jaden Robinson and company, or Silva and company.
Defensively for the Cards tonight, giving up 18 points a game. Gibson, Williams, and Burris up front. Daniel Henderson Silva leading the team in total tackles with 66. And the secondary is Son, Sanders, Fly, and Peoples.
If you're MacArthur, you got to look after number 9, Brooks. And they just go on the flat, and it's just flat out dropped by Dinka. Dinka has caught 16 passes this year, 1 for a touchdown. He was all by himself, might have had the idea of looking downfield before taking off. And now it's 3rd down and 10, and the Cardinals have done a good job so far. The way the defense and the offense plays, you got some guys out on an island, if you will. Hassan, 14, way to the near side of the field, is one-on-one coverage. Nussmeyer, 3-step drop. We're going to try it all over again in the flat. And Dinka may get 3 and give his punter just a little room in the back of the end zone for 4th down.
Well, it didn't start, Rob. It didn't start off well with the opening kickoff. It skipped through 2 defenders and finally had to pick it up deep in their own territory. Now they're paying for it.
Burris on the defensive end, one of a couple, forcing the issue and also staying at home so they're not burned. And we'll see who they put back in receiving formation. That'll be number 12, which is Jacob Reyes. And the punt very quickly will die at about the 40.5-yard line of Marcus. So this will be a good opportunity for these Cardinals right off the chutes, and it will be number 7 getting the starting nod at quarterback, Dylan Fredeloso. They use 2 quarterbacks as we have a penalty after the fact.
Got a flag back in the end zone. Rob Jasper is tonight's referee, roughing the kicker or running into the kicker.
That's only a 5, is it? No, they're going to call it 15, so that's a major penalty. And that'll give Marcus the football and a fresh set of downs. Let's see the replay, John.
All right, in punt formation is Nussmeier, the quarterback, to come flying through the left side. A little bit of yeah, he got him on the left knee. Hard contact.
So that was an easy one to call and a fresh set of downs for the Marauders. Nussmeier going in the flats, incomplete, trying to hit Edwards. No, it's a lateral. The referee said it's a lateral, and picking it up and scoring is Gerald Fly, and it's a touchdown for the Cards.
About a yard behind the line of scrimmage. And Fly, the free safety, and the junior Johnny on the spot picks it up and races untouched to the end zone.
Well, the linesman there on the sideline had his arm out pointing lateral, not the incomplete sign, so as soon as he picked that up, he knew he could go in for the touchdown. Extra point is good, and it's 7-0 Cardinals without an offensive play. Just under 11 minutes to go here in the opening stanza.
All right, it's a turnover. This one behind the intended receiver coming out of the backfield. That's Edwards. And here's Fly, scoops it up at the 7, and what an easy first touchdown for the Cards.
Another tight shot here, and you watch that Edwards kind of gave up on it. He just kind of stopped and was going to play it off. And then Fly comes down the sideline, and he kind of hesitated as well. A couple of Cardinals kind of looked at it, and then it kind of dawned on them, hey, this is good for us, as Coach Atkinson, the head coach of Marcus, looking on saying this is not how I wanted to get this game started.
And fortunately for the Cardinals, it stayed in the field of play. Had it gone out of bounds, you never know how many plays it may have taken to score or perhaps another turnover, but it stayed in bounds, and Gerald Fly from 7 yards.
So we're going to do it all over again, and I bet you a glass of tea that this time Marcus has their act together on the special teams in recovering and fielding and taking this kick as they set at their own 12-yard line. Again, we've only played about a minute of football. Taken there at the 15-yard line. Tippy-toeing around as number 21, which is Jamil Rashad, to the 30. And Marcus will have it again, John. Their third offensive series here in the first quarter. Third offensive series with only, a few minutes gone by. And down 7-0.
Marcus comes in averaging 205 yards of passing. We talked about 15 different receivers have caught balls this year, but for the Cards, they've only allowed 2 teams to pass for more than 100 yards.
And, I'm excited about Sanders for MacArthur, wanting to watch him run, and he has yet to touch the football. Brooks in motion. That's the guy you got to look after. They go inside to Dinka. Dinka picks up 5, maybe 6. Horse collared around the shoulder pads there by one of the safeties coming up to make the play. And it'll be second down in a cup of Silva, number 3, and Steptoe, number 2, in that general area. The linebackers are 2, 3, 4. And they throw a 34 in there to keep me honest.
Reyes.
Second down and 6. Nussmeier with a little pressure, and down he goes. Looks like Gibson, number 15, in on the tackle. Gibson leads the team in tackles for loss. He had 17 coming in. There's his 18th, and sets up third down and long.
This team, top-heavy seniors, they have 41, and here's one of them. A nice job to hold them at bay here.
Nussmeier flushed. There's Gibson in pursuit. Here come the troops. Nussmeier somehow gets away. Third guy gets away from downfield. That's a first down. How did he get away? I don't know, but he hit number 27, it appears, on a crossing pattern, John Ballard. The seldom used John Ballard came in with just 6 catches. Looky here, John, he had to fight for his life.
He retreats about 21 yards. Ballard had to go all the way across the other side, finally works free, And a nice pass on the run by Nussmeier, again completing 56% this year.
Well, it was that spin move that bought him the extra time to find Ballard. And we've got some movement in the line. And that's going to be a legal procedure against the Marauders. We talk about, how close MacArthur has come. They've lost.
5-yard penalty. Moves the ball to the 36-yard line where it is first.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, but these Cards have been in practically every game they've played except, all of them. They still haven't played Flower Man yet. They've been practically every game in district.
It could easily be 4-1.
Little out pattern, and once again, hits a man Rashad on the far corner. Check that Ballard, number 27. And Ballard gets him in pretty good position here to the 46-yard line. So Ballard, again, comes in with just 6 catches at 99 yards, and he's picked up 2 on this drive.
Ball kind of sailed on him, but Ballard got the elevation, able to climb the ladder and snare it.
So it's 2nd and a nickel. Haven't seen a lot of Dinka tonight.
No, I haven't.
They fake to Brooks, give to Dinka. Dinka right side, maybe about 4 or so. Penalty flag down. It's Lazo Reyes making the tackle, and it's around the holding vicinity. Coach Mullins here on the near sideline saying, hey, we'll take it, push them back.
Well, that would have been manageable. That would have made it 3rd and about 1.5 yards.
Hold. Number 82 on the offense. 10 yards, 2nd down.
Ends on this team. Francisco Rodriguez, number 54, checking in for Paul Williams at that nose tackle position. So some fresh legs on the interior line trying to take advantage. Here we go again, Robinson. Robinson doesn't get very far, does he? Hassan is there. Silva is there. And also Josh Howell. So great pursuit by these Redbirds.
Howell went over the top and just pancaked the running back Robinson. You'll see Howell and just flattens him.
And Josh Howell, 5th on the team in tackles at 44. Now he's got 45. Grabbed him around the shoulder pads. Everything's legal. That is Sarala, 82 in the slot to the right for Marcus. And now he's going in motion to the left side. Nussmeier waits. There's a catch and a fumble, and it's recovered by Hutcherson, number 7, running that crossing pattern. Had it in his pocket for maybe a step or two, and then it flew out.
A catch and, as you call it, Rob, a fumble, and lucky it stayed in bounds and came right up to Hutcherson and able to reel it in right there.
Yeah, he was still fighting for it on the ground. Low snap to Nussmeier. Remember, he got run into last time. Barely gets this one away. Cardinals thought about picking it up, and Josh Howell said, I'm going to come to the sideline, not get yelled at, and have the offense take the field, Mr. Nelson, at the 6:41 mark for the first time in this ball game.
All right, the Cardinals averaging 22 points a game. The offensive line anchored by Alan Lopez. We have 4 seniors and a sophomore. Quarterback, we think, is Trenton Harden. We're all going to see Fred Alonso tonight. Sanders, the team's leading rusher. Reyes, Chairs, Feliciano, and Akakare, the receivers.
And it is Fred Alonso getting the starting nod for these Cardinals. Both quarterbacks threw for close to 100 yards last week, and there's a couple of flags from the very first snap offensively for MacArthur. That's going to go against Mac. Probably a legal procedure.
Formation. Too many men in the backfield. 5 yards. Repeat the down. 1st down.
Legal formation. Too many guys in the backfield. Yeah, you've got MacArthur that lost probably that heartbreaker. You look back and just lose by 7 to Hebron, and they're not the team everybody thought they were going to be this year. I think the surprise in the district, at least right now, is Louisville. 6-2, playing really well.
And we saw them last week.
So Fred Alonso had a big run in that loss to Hebron for about 30 yards and a score. They couldn't manage more than a field goal in that fourth quarter. And Coach Rollins says, I want timeout. I don't like the things look. So look at this, John. As far as well as the defensive unit for MacArthur has looked in the first quarter, the offense is sputtering just because of penalties.
Well, they come in a healthy number offensively, the rushing game and their passing game. Pretty well even. They average over 320 yards of offense per game. You know, we were talking, Rob, how impressed we were. There's the breakdown points, allowed points per game, yards, and yards allowed. Pretty close to the yards per game. Marcus gives up more than the Cardinal defense at 418 yards of contest.
Let's see if we see Gabriel Sanders touch the ball for the first time tonight. He's behind Fred Aloso. They fake it to Sanders, knowing that perhaps Marcus would key on the running back, and they pick up maybe 3, 4 on the play, 2nd and 11. Akari, number 1, split to the near side. They have 2 receivers, bottom and top, and now Sanders comes out in the slot here to the near side. So Fred Aloso is all by himself, and then Sanders will come right back. Defensive side doesn't change too much except they blitz. Akari with the catch at the 45, holding that football one-handed. Might get a little talking to, and yeah, the coach is there. Mullins reminding him, don't hold it with one hand.
2 is a little better, more secure.
Kelly looking for his first touchdown of the season. Came in with 9 catches. Good catch here, then he just kind of holds that ball out a little bit. But it's a manageable 3rd down and 4, closing in on 5 minutes of the first quarter. Homecoming for the Cardinals. Again, the tight ends stay put. The linebackers opted to blitz. The Akari didn't get the memo. He took off, and that's going to be an illegal procedure
False
against
start, number 1
MacArthur.
on the offense.
Well,
5
they had
yards.
put 7 in the box and maybe kind of drew the Cards off sides. It did, and it worked. And that is a 3rd penalty for a total of 25 yards now for the Cardinals.
Well, I can see what the defensive coordinator for Marcus has got up his sleeve, at least here in the first quarter, and that's bring the house. They've got 4 at the line of scrimmage instead of their usual 3. So they're playing a 4-3 instead of a 3-4 like they've been. And they've been blitzing a lot. Not here, though. Fred Aloso trying to get the edge, and he can't do it. Coming from behind is Mark Disgraves, number 44. Caught him on the weak side. And that will do it. 3 and out with some penalties sandwiched in between for MacArthur. And Sabando, 5'8", 230. Kicker for MacArthur will try to trap these Marauders deep in their own end of the field as you look at number 17, Fontaine. He plays backup free safety.
Yeah, the drive started at the 48. It ends at the 50.
A little rush, but gets it off, and Fontaine will watch it bounce about 5 yards in front of him. Picks it up, and then he says, hey, meet Burris. Burris, number 32, who is the deep snapper on special teams. Also plays some defensive end, and you really want to pick it up? Nah.
Picked it up with the 12 and was walloped at the 15.
Blake Burris, the deep snapper, with the little tattoo on that one. On the sideline here, McGuffin is in there, number 78, a senior, playing defensive end. A little quick pass to the far sideline to Bullard again. Bullard for 10, maybe 12. And good enough for a Marcus first down.
So 3rd.
Well, all of a sudden, Ballard, excuse me, has become the favorite target of Nussmeier here in the first half. 3rd reception. and a first down.
Gain of 12, first down 10.
Green split to the near side for Flower Mound. And that's Ballard in motion. And he goes nowhere fast. Well done by number 15, Noah Gibson. You can see why he's the leading tackler on this team and why he leads the team in tackles for losses. That's 2 already tonight. Coming in, he had 17. One more, he'll have 20 for the year.
That's a big loss of 9 as Ballard, had it gotten by Gibson, would have been double teamed at the 20 anyway.
You know, the thing is that Gibson did such a good job staying at home. He didn't bite. And it was pretty much waiting for Ballard to come across. Nussmeier going deep, far sideline, popped around and almost caught. Well, it was well defended. The ball was short. DeMarcus Sanders, number 18, was there on the coverage. Those things can go either way, John, when you have receivers that can jump so high, and luckily for him, no damage done.
Yeah, broken up, but all credit to the receiver. Kept his eyes on it, almost looked it back in, just needed about another 6 inches to bring it in.
Tried to hit shot, number 16, the sophomore. I mean, they were both really in good position. Either one of those players could have made the catch. Nussmeier to his right, telling this guy go downfield. And they go to him again, and it's knocked out of bounds. Tried to hit shot for the second time in this series. We do have a penalty flag thrown back. Ineligible receiver, perhaps, downfield against Flower Mound Marcus.
It may have been Osborne, number 51. He was well downfield.
An eligible receiver downfield on the defense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Justin Osborne, number 51's the left tackle. He didn't get to start or play much when we saw him last time on ICTN, but he's one of their big boys up front and one of the players that Coach Atkinson believed could go D1 once everything is said and done.
That's a great start for the Cardinal defense.
Oh, yeah.
Twice, and then the opening fumble.
Nussmeier, the quick snap, they said we're not going to give MacArthur time to get their bearings, and the quick kick, nets maybe, 30 yards or so. And MacArthur's in Marcus's into the field at the 49, and we still got over 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
A short field for the second offensive series for the Cardinals, overall at 4-4. Again, 2-3 in district. The Marauders also check in at 4-4 and 2-3. Flower Mound leading the district, and then this log jam, the Fife Farmers and Coppell at 4-1. Hebron just a game back at 3-2.
Marcus, though, on a 3-game losing skid. You don't know how much that plays as we go to Sanders, left side. Sanders with explosive legs gets across the 45, 43. Give him 6. First time we've seen Gabriel Sanders tonight. He's rushed for 100 yards or more in all but one of the games so far. 233 against Nimitz. The guy is explosive. And maybe it was the thing that MacArthur was trying to get, but Marcus was giving him, and they weren't giving him Sanders running the ball. Quarterback keeper, Fred Aloso, close to the first. Maybe a half a football shy. Sean Watson, the strong safety senior, number 22, with the tackle. And they said he does get enough for the first down.
You know, we were impressed, Rob. We did the Irving game, and Fred Aloso came into the second half and had a 66-yard pass to Feliciano, then ran one in from 11 yards out. His stepsister, Rena, one of our interns at ICTN.
Let's see if he can find number 10 again. Fresh set of downs. Sanders up the middle, a stiff arm, makes it to that second level. About 5, maybe 6 on the play. Last man off the stack, the sophomore Tyler Gainey, number 45. As Marcus alternating some of their linebackers, trying to keep them fresh. Josh Howell now in the backfield along with Sanders. Howell is Sanders' backup. Of course, Howell plays on the defensive side. And we'll see if they use number 4 as a blocker. And they do. And he leads the block as Sanders tries to go wide. Just ran out of room. He was forced out of bounds after maybe, a yard or two by Preston Squires, number 20.
Squires was cutting down the angle and did a nice job. Again, Sanders checks in with over 770 yards of rushing and 10 touchdowns. And a marked man tonight, no question.
Squires playing free safety. They've got him on the opposite side of the field. He had a long way to go that time. Fred Aloso breaks one, but might even lose a yard once everything's said and done. After that play, Ethan Barr, one of those linebackers, met him at the line. And, hey, it's 4-down territory. You've got a 7-point lead. You've only got about a yard to go. And they just might let this one roll down and reset everything for the second quarter. So that's the end of one. MacArthur looking good here so far, leading Marcus 7-0. Back with the second quarter in a moment. Seven 0 MacArthur here, the homecoming 2018. Rob Willman with you along with John Nelson. Fourth down and about a football to go. Fred Aloso with Gabriel Sanders to his right. And he fakes it to Sanders, rolling right, has a yard to gain, and he makes it. He was hoping to get the Marauder defense to bite on that dive play to Sanders. And everyone stayed at home, John.
Oh, that's do or die. If you don't get to the edge first, it's a loss of yardage. He was tracked by Irwin, number 15, but Fred Aloso trying nice job of turning it upfield and getting there first before Boomer Perry.
Coach Mullins and staff opt to bring Howell back in, so they have two in the backfield. Sometimes Howell, number 4, who's to the right of Fred Aloso, will go in motion. And they go left, and not a lot of room for Howell there. It seems like they're using Sanders more of a decoy than anything, John.
Yeah, it does, because he jumped into the arms of Barr, number 8. But you came into tonight, we were talking, you want to see Sanders a lot. You want to see him get on track.
I do. He's got great speed. He gets past the linebackers. Look out.
Yeah, that's it.
But so far, Marcus has done a really good job containing him. He's there looking at the play on his wrist. 5 seconds on the play clock, goes to his right. And they fake the handoff. The pass, Fred Aloso just a step away from pay dirt.
He held that a little high and almost lost it. Here's another look at it as he goes over the right side. Sanders providing the lead block, but then he steps around the linebacker, and he had it pretty well.
Disgraves, Dar, a couple of guys on the pursuit. So really, I think Fred Aloso, he's the guy that might have to carry the mail for a while until he earns the respect of Marcus. There's Sanders, and what a nice form tackle right up there by Barr, number 8, after about a yard gain. You see something on film, John, or tape on how to properly tackle someone. Just show this play. Watch him how he wraps up. Barr wraps up.
He's in the middle. He's a junior, and Barr waist high, and Sanders going nowhere.
Well, Barr just used the leverage, I think, more than anything. There's an attempted Yeverino going for the three-pointer. It's through the uprights and good. So Yeverino puts 3 more on the board at the 9:29 mark. And MacArthur's up 10-0.
Now, with the wind and pregame warm-ups, he was hitting them from 50. Out from 37 yards out, and widens the lead now to 10-zip.
Well done. I'm looking There's no wind, really, per se, from the flags, right?
None at all. It's in the lower 50s. Just a beautiful night for football, and couldn't ask for a better start again as the Cardinals now lead it by 10. Marcus last year had their troubles in district. They 2-5 last year, 3-4 a couple of years ago. They close out the year hosting Louisville, but if Flower Mound defeats Coppell this week, Flower Mound will be your district champions in 6-6A.
I think that's a given, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
They have been the juggernaut and have played extremely well under head coach Brian Basil.
The problem with Mac and Marcus, they have both lost to Hebron, so a fourth playoff spot would be tough.
All right, another pooch kick on the far sideline over to Johnson. Johnson still has it down the sideline, and for the first time tonight, unless there's a yellow hanky somewhere, Marcus will have the football and MacArthur's into the field thanks to a Ty Johnson, a sophomore, his return. So the pooch kick backfired a little bit, and MacArthur will have to get out defensively and keep doing what they've been doing.
Well, he's got good speed for a sophomore. Ty Johnson's also a quarterback on the defense.
We haven't seen a lot of Justin Dinka. And now coming in is Carter Beer, number 14. Carter gives to Dinka. Dinka pretty much surprised that defensive line a little bit. I don't think they thought he had the football, and he picks up some positive yards. So we don't know if Nussmeier is hurt. You know, he's also the punter. We don't know if the coach is looking for a spark offensively. Carter comes in 17 of 18, 250 yards and a touchdown. So he has some great numbers passing the football.
You also watch Dinka coming out of the backfield is also a good
Well,
receiver.
we now have the Wildcat. The quarterback is in the far sideline, and keeping it is Brooks, and Brooks goes up the middle for 10, 11, 12 yards and a first down. Marcel Brooks averaging 29 yards a catch. Well, they can't get it to the big guy throwing the football, so now they're saying, well, let's just put him in the backfield and watch him run. Brooks is a really good size player and a D1 player, according to the head coach.
The fake on the end around, and he does a reverse 360 and turns it upfield for nice positive yardage.
So for Marcus, the first time they've had some positive yardage, we go the Wildcat again to Brooks. Brooks to the right, a stiff arm. Looking for some room, look at the speed. He's gone.
32 yards.
Marcel Brooks, his 6th touchdown of the season, this one on the ground. They just gave it to their best athlete, John, 2 plays in a row, and they go about 40-something yards in 2 plays because of that.
Broke a tackle at about the 25 and just a foot race the remaining distance.
It is good as Hefferman and makes the extra point. Here's the play again, John.
All right, Marcel Brooks, outstanding receiver, breaks that tackle, tight ropes it the remaining 20 yards. The chase is on, but Fly going to lose that battle.
End zone look. There was only just really one chance at it there on the outside, and once Brooks gets a gap and turns on the speed, no one can catch him.
Josh Howell did his darndest to slow him up, but Brooks was able to take it all away, 32 yards, as again Marcus came in averaging 27 points a game. The Cardinal defense allowing 18.
Look at the Marcus sideline over there after the score. The offensive unit is to the right of that. They're like in a semicircle around all the offensive coaches. As we take the Marcus look at the Marcus sideline, who has something to cheer about now. They have cut this game to 3 points. Still plenty of time here before intermission. Looks like number 41, who I don't have. I don't know if you do either, John, is going to tee this thing up for MacArthur.
Yeah, I believe that's Heffernan. Heffernan is a senior.
That is it. And the return there gives MacArthur to about the 34.
Matt Heffernan.
Yeah, Jacob Reyes with the return. So MacArthur now plays a little offense. Can they get things back in gear? That's the question.
Again, the Cardinals coming off a loss last week to Hebron at 24-17. They're 0-2 lifetime against Marcus.
All right, Trenton Harden, a sophomore. First time we've seen Harden. We saw him once early in the year when it was raining. He played about a series and couldn't hold on to the ball. Now they're going to bring him out and see if he can share the wealth. Reyes breaks a tackle inside the 50. One pass, one first down, and MacArthur's on the move.
Inside screen, and Reyes wide open, able to pick up a couple of blocks. Harden got rid of it quickly. That's the offensive lineman. That's Bardellis leading the block, sophomore.
Harden comes in. Every time he makes a completion, he's averaging about 10 yards. 5'10", 160. The 10th grader playing on varsity. And he comes right back to work again, and Reyes wasn't looking. So either Harden didn't get the call right or Reyes didn't, but there was some miscommunication on the play. That's how you beat the rush, is just a two-step drop back and toss, but Reyes wasn't looking, and it's an incomplete pass.
Reyes comes in with 31 catches and close to 400 yards and 3 touchdowns.
No wind what to see whatsoever. The flag's not even moving. So there's really not an advantage that way. Here comes the blitz again. Harden sidesteps, waits, and just throws that one out of bounds. Nice job coming across there. They brought in the corner, or one of the linebackers, which was Tyler Gainey. He's a sophomore, so sophomore attacking sophomore.
Well, Feliciano, number 10, was the nearest receiver to the ball, and he was about 8 yards away. And the right thing is Harden just dumped it away.
You bet. Out of the box. Nowhere to go with it. Low snap, fields nicely. A quick little toss. We've got flags back toward the interior line, which is usually a hold against MacArthur. The pass was incomplete anyway, so I'm guessing Marcus will decline. Here's the call.
Holding on the offense, number 62. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
So Bardellis, number 62, called for the hold. Mack will have to punt. Sabando will come in.
Their second punt.
One man deep. We have, since it's a Thursday night, Mr. Nelson, we have the full accompaniment of officials. We have 7 instead of 5.
Had to double check and see if there were 7, and they are.
Kick right up the middle. Taken by Fontaine. He's done that twice now. But the thing is about taking it, whether it's a fair catch or not, he does hold on to it, number 1. Number 2, the ball doesn't get buried deep in their own end of the field. They have it at their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, he wants to get to it first.
We're going to see some more Brooks, or is Nussmeier going to take the charge? There is Nussmeier, number 13.
He's got good numbers this year, close to 1,400 yards in passing, 12 touchdowns, and a completion rate of 57%.
Brooks on the far side. Motion, they go up the middle anyway. And a gaping hole for number 22, Tyson Edwards. Edwards with plenty of real estate for 13 yards and a first down. So if you go back to the Brooks carries, and now the Edwards carry, about 3 plays in a row of 10 yards or more for Marcus. In motion, they go back to Edwards. Big hole, another first. They're inside the 52 plays, 20-something yards, just like that. Edwards came in averaging almost 6.5 yards every time he touched the football. And so now back in the backfield, if you got Edwards, the junior, which is a little smaller in stature, he's to the bottom of your screen there, than Dinka. Dinka's on the left of Nussmeier. You know, who do you key on? Well, they fake to Edwards, do a crossing pattern over to Brooks. Remember, this guy's a playmaker. Uses that stiff arm to his advantage, and another first down for Marcus. Man, that Brooks is a tough guy to handle.
That is their 8th first down. He had the first down, then retreated a couple of steps and shot outfield for an additional 7 yards.
I hate to say this because there's so much hate on Dez these days, but he kind of reminds me how Dez used to always try to go for the extra yards no matter what it would take. And they're going to go over to him again in the flat. Had some blocking. Tackled around the neck, around the 24. 8 yards, and Nussmeier's stats, they'll look mighty nice throwing to Brooks like that.
I didn't think you were a hate monger.
I'm just, you know.
Wound up.
Yeah. So Brooks is going to take a breather. Colin Sutherland will take his place to the far side, trips near side. Nussmeier going over here near side. There's a broken tackle. Howell misses, and then twisting and turning out of bounds is Evan Green. That's his 15th catch of the year. We touched upon this. I know you did before the game. How many people usually touch the football for Marcus?
Yeah, they needed a couple of yards, and they collect about 9. Able to evade one and hit hard out of bounds at the 17.
Hutcherson out, Edwards back in. So they go with that tandem backfield. Dinka in motion. They go to Edwards left. Breaks a shoestring tackle and drags defenders to the 10. Give them 7. And they're getting close to taking the lead or maybe tying it up unless MacArthur can find that defensive magic again that they had earlier in this ball game.
Now this drive, they've gone 66 yards so far. It started at their own 24.
Quarterback looks right over to Robinson. Motion. Dinka, not a lot of room. Maybe to the line of scrimmage. Well done there on the line by number 42 for MacArthur. Was that 42 or 43? Check that.
Gallegos.
Yeah. Gallegos, number 43. MacArthur with the Halloween-looking uniforms. And hard to read by this old guy.
Frightful. I thought Halloween was last night.
Under 4 to go. 3rd and 3, maybe 2 down territory. Dinka sweep right. Or correct that, Brooks. Brooks.
Look at this.
You just can't bring the guy down. I think the coach has found the key to this game, don't you think?
11 yards, and now this is a running team tonight.
Yeah. We don't need to pass. With Brooks, number 9, look, he's a big individual, let me tell you. He's got size, he's got speed, and apparently he can run as well as he can catch. Extra point is true by Heffernan. And just like that, Marcus has the lead. John?
Yeah, they take the lead almost 5 minutes since their last score. A nice handoff, and on the sweep he turns it back and carries tacklers, 3 of them, the remaining 4 yards.
They switched it up. They usually had Edwards back there with Dinka. This time they had Dinka back there with Brooks. And everyone grabs a piece, but no one can bring him down. Kenneth Peoples, one of 3 there for MacArthur, trying to make the tackle. Too late as Brooks finds the end zone. Boy, what an entertaining first half, Mr. Nelson.
Yeah, it is. 76 yards on that drive. The Cardinals have seen that 10-point lead evaporate. Now trailing by 4, but plenty of time. 3:46. What do we have in store?
Well, first of all, we'll see if they bring Harden back out at quarterback or if they opt to go with Fredeloso. They moved the ball really well early on. Marcus adapted, and now you got to flip the coin on the other side and hope that the Cardinals can adapt. Heffernan waiting for the okay. He'll tee it up. Another short pooch. Who wants it? It's a no man's land. It's a live ball. Marcus says they've got it. Let's see. I think they do.
What a short field this will be from 26 yards out. That ball took a backspin, but you have to get to it. You can't watch it bounce in front of it. Nice job by
John Ballard.
Yeah.
Marcus is John Ballard.
Heffernan with a great kick. You got to come to it, and it's too late.
Marcus possession.
Ballard in the right place. Ballard, who had a good first quarter, had a couple of catches. And then on the special teams, it was just a reversal, John, of earlier in the game when MacArthur kicked off to Marcus, and Marcus was there. You get it, no, I got it. You get it, no, I got it. And that might be the new way to do the pooch kick.
It was a great kick. It just landed perfectly.
It's Robinson in motion, and we've got a timeout or a nope.
On the offense, 5 yards.
The game clock dwindled down to 0,
5 yard delay of game penalty.
and that'll push Marcus back a bit. Tyson Edwards back in at running back. Slot back, and then Robinson in motion. They fake to Robinson and go to Edwards, and Edwards picks up the 5+ some. Give him about 7 or 8 on the carry. Marcus with all 3 timeouts remaining and can take their time. Well, the thing about what we've seen from Marcus tonight, John, compared to the early go about 3 or 4 weeks ago, is the fact that they're doing most of their damage on the ground. They're just sending players in motion one way or the other. As Edwards goes left, the pursuit catches him from behind. Great hustle by MacArthur. But it's not until Edwards gets across the line and gets a first down.
Edwards is a tough man to bring down. He's a junior, has 3 rushing touchdowns, but they have found a soft spot right up the middle.
That was step toe number 2. Got him with the pursuit. Quick snap. We go left. And this time, Mr. Brooks is going nowhere.
Got him down low, number 15, hanging on. Noah Gibson, the senior.
And Brooks gets up a little gingerly. That's the thing. You got to stop Brooks before he goes downhill. He's a downhill runner. You catch him after that first step or two, you're golden. He stays in there. He's to the left of Nussmeier. And now he goes in motion. They fake it to Edwards, or go up to Edwards. Edwards for 4, as they used pretty much Brooks as a decoy.
Plows up the middle behind Osborne and Bonner.
Got a timeout, so that'll be the second by MacArthur. They'll have 1 left. And a pretty good defensive stand here in order for the big back. They hold him to a field goal. That's great. 17-10 at the break. They get the ball to start the second half. Give up a touchdown, you kind of tighten the screws a little bit as you take a look at head coach Ronnie Mullins, 3rd year. Spent 27 years in the Garland ISD and was an athletic director at Prosper back in 2014. I wonder if he knew 4 years ago that school would be a 6A school.
The classification and then some. They close out the year. The Cardinals close out the year at Flower Mound. Marcus will close out the year hosting the Fighting Farmers of Louisville, the Battle of the Axe.
Ironic that Coach Basil now at Flower Mound facing his old team to finish up the season. 3rd and nickel. Got penalty flags. Is it a free play? Well, it's a bad play.
Side armed it to Green in the
did.
backfield.
Evan just looked at it and kicked it.
Bar incomplete, penalty flag on the play.
It's not a legal procedure. That would have been a dead ball foul. So it's either offside, so either shift.
On the offense, that penalty's declined. 4th down.
So 4th down. So MacArthur does their job.
They'll decline it naturally.
You bet.
Set up a 4th down situation. The Marauders have all 3 timeouts.
So there goes Nussmeier. Heffernan will come in, number 41. Hutcherson is your holder. And it's about a 26-yard kick. Again, no wind. Close to the right hash. Nice hold and kick. Looks pretty good from this angle, and it is. So with just under 2 minutes, it's now 17-10 Marcus. But I think if you're Mac, you got to feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, just an easy chip shot on the field goal, but they hold them to 3. The drive started at the Cardinal 26, and they got close, but that penalty, and they settled for 3. It's a 7-point game, 1-possession game right now.
Key on that, I think, was stopping Brooks, where they had him in the backfield. That kind of keyed on him for a couple of plays in a row and didn't let him kill him. Marauders have won the only 2 meetings between these 2 teams. Both came in by-district way back in the 90s. 96-97. Marcus won 31-8. And then they won 17-10. In 97, that was the year that they were the state champs. 5A Division II state champ.
Yeah, they hammered Ely Hastings that year, 59-20, and claimed the state title.
They had that quarterback, I can't remember his name, he went to SMU, didn't they? He was
Garrett.
Really good sized quarterback. So MacArthur will go back defensively to receive, and I say defensively because you have to play somewhat defensive the way they pooch kick the ball these days. There's another pooch kick on the near side, a couple of players running into it. DeAngel picks it up, gets about 2 yards, makes the play on it, and that's the key, is just making the play on it. And so Mac has just under 2 minutes to go, which really is a lot of time. They don't have a lot of timeouts. They've only got 1.
And the shifting continues. Fredoloso back in at quarterback.
John, do you know how many yards Sanders has so far in the first half? Not a lot. He has been bottled up pretty well by Marcus. They're in tight. Double slot right and left, and they give to Sanders. And Sanders has some room. Sanders got the speed. Sanders with 1 man to beat and is dragged down from behind, but not until he gets inside the 40-yard line.
36 yards on that burn.
And he might have either cramped up or pulled something, but nothing fancy. It's just a dive right, but everybody does their job. Hat on hat, and he's eventually caught from behind.
Sean Watson tracked him all the way. Nice job just to grab him and hold on and not let him gain any more yards.
Yeah, looks like a cramp. See, what happens is he hasn't run enough tonight, John. He hasn't run enough to warm up.
Well, that gives him an even 50 yards now in rushing.
And remember, he's come in with 100+ yards for every but 1 game this year.
Davian Morris will come on, number 22, sophomore.
You know, you kind of walk stiff-legged. When you have the cramp, you're afraid to bend it at all.
Yeah, you know, eventually it's going to take time. You're going to get that feeling back, but it's just that, gosh, first couple of minutes, it just feels terrible.
You ever wake up in the middle of the night with a cramp? You try to get out of bed, and you can't stand up.
The covers are too tight. You can't get loose.
You're like hopping around.
All right, still they got time. 142.
Yeah. So with Davian Morris, a sophomore, he's rushed for 119 yards on the season, pretty much playing in Sanders' shadow. Will Fred Aloso go to the air or just keep it himself? Here comes the blitz on the edge. Nice pickup by Morris. Fred Aloso has a man right here, Feliciano, and Feliciano close to the first, but more importantly, steps out of bounds because Mac has only one timeout. So a nice job by Fred Aloso rolling to the near side.
Gain of close to 8 yards.
And Feliciano doing the sidestep before Watson pushes him out of bounds.
That puts Feliciano on the year over 300 yards. His 27th catch, 308 yards in receiving.
Yeah, came in averaging almost 12 yards a pop, second and short. And they go right side, and everybody has a bead on Morris. And no, they said they just took it away from him. Took it away from him. There goes Sean Watson the other way. There was a big pileup. It seemed like the play was dead, and somebody picked the pocket of Morris. Watson ends up with it, and he goes, what, about 60-something yards for the touchdown.
It got clogged up. There were at least 7 or 8 guys around Watson. He pulls it out of somebody and erases the remaining. I've got about 63 yards or so. I picked him up just inside the 40.
Well, it just looked like an old-fashioned scrum there in the middle of the line. Let's watch. There's Morris right side. There's Watson, number 12. Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. Literally just takes it out of his breadbasket and goes the distance.
Oh, that is huge. That makes it a 14-point lead. Let's give him 62 yards on the return because nobody saw him the first 5 or 6.
Yeah, not even a 14-point, but a 14-point turnaround. I mean, Mac could have scored to tie the game. Instead, they're down by 2 touchdowns with 1:06 to go. All of that effort, the big run by Sanders, the pass by Fred Aloso to Feliciano, all of that wasted. And what's the first thing a coach will say is just protect the football.
That first turnover was costly.
Now
it's been all Marcus here in the second quarter.
Now with 1:06 to go, will Mac be more conservative or not? Looking for Sanders on the near sideline. I don't see him setting down. I do see Howell, though. That's not a pretty sight. Josh Howell with his shoulder pads off. Hopefully he didn't injure his shoulder.
You can't lose him on defense. He's around the middle of the linebacking spot.
Heffernan. Same thing again. Delangel picks it up. Yeah. He keeps on fighting. Now, say both of these teams, they don't just grab the ball and fall down. They give it everything they got. So we're under a minute. Mac all of a sudden down by 2 touchdowns. And it appears that Harden is back out there.
This is her 5th possession of this half.
So Trenton Harden, number 8, second series for the sophomore. Maybe a stronger arm. May try to go downfield. 10 seconds on the play clock. Couple of step drop back, winds up and fires, and it's picked off. Picked off by Perry. Perry still on his feet and falls down, and Marcus has the ball with 48 seconds to go. Well, they just pretty much threw it right at the free safety, Boomer Perry, who played center field. You hear it time and time again, and he picks this one off. Watch him top of your screen, right to him pretty much.
Yeah, it is right, well, high enough and right about helmet high. And the second turnover and the first interception of tonight.
I don't know if the receiver gave up on it, didn't see it.
He had lost his footing.
He hardened through it where he thought the receiver would be. Edwards is staying in at running back. I think Marcus has found a combination. Edwards with his speed is the answer. Nussmeier gives it to Edwards and fools nobody. Maybe a couple of yards on that play. And big number 2, Adrian Steptoe, made the tackle, wrapped him up behind the line of scrimmage. 3 yards for a loss. Steptoe 6'3", 245. Can't miss him out there on the D line. Marcus calls time with 41 seconds to go. They're not ready just yet. Look at Sarala, 82 in this picture. Talk about height there, John.
Yeah, he's about 6'6". He has 2 touchdown receptions, and what a big target he is.
Yep, and he's not even going to go out on the field. He just listened in.
Speaking of height, the ICTN will begin its basketball coverage on December the 18th. We'll see the Cardinals and Nimitz, both girls and boys, on December the 18th.
Those are always fun games right around the holidays. Motion play. Nussmeier waits. Rocks and fires, going for Brooks, and he goes high for the catch.
38 yards.
Just throw it at him, John. Just throw it at him. He has such a height advantage. It's just tough. Hassan's out there trying to cover him and can't do it.
Take another look at Brooks. It's a 50-50 ball until that, as Brooks stepped in front of number 14, Hassan, and pass was a little short, but Brooks able to make the adjustment and just picks it off.
Yep, that's the difference, is making the adjustment when the pass is thrown.
It's about 70-30 in that case, not a 50-50.
No, not with Brooks out there. So your Marcus with 1 timeout to go. We talked about this practically a minute and a half ago, John, when we said Mac needs to do the best they can to stop Marcus and get a field goal, which they did.
Yeah, they did.
And now here they are again. They don't want to be down 31-10 at the break. Marcus out of the gates, very lethargic, not very good early on. Everybody's coming in. It's not a screen. Nussmeier to his right, looking for someone to throw to. Throws it up for grabs, and it's picked off. Picked off in the end zone and out of bounds. And MacArthur stops the drive. We said they had to stop the drive, and they did so. DeMarcus Sanders, number 18, got hit pretty hard on the sideline after the pick. Nussmeier had no reason to throw the ball up for grabs like that.
Never should have let it fly, and he is just walloped. Just crushed from the backside.
Yeah, Burris hit him pretty good. Watch right at the end of the play. And then MacArthur and company playing center field, and Sanders came up with it and gets hit just around the hip. It wasn't necessarily a terribly hard hit by Jacob Hoffman, number 52, the center. He just pretty much hit him around the hips, and he might have got twisted around, might have hurt the hip. When he did that, it wasn't like it was a hit to the head or anything like that. He might have just got twisted around. He's pointing to the coaches. Well, that's a white pair of pants. Let's see if it's the center and not the MacArthur Cardinal that gets hurt. There we go. There's the player just to the top of your screen.
It's a guard tackle.
Yeah, it's not Sanders that got hurt. He's celebrating on the sidelines. There is a penalty flag thrown, by the way, at the 17 near the play. Perhaps the player that got hurt might have got blocked in the back.
Well, if it's Ariola, it's a junior. That's
Yeah, he's the backup left guard.
yeah.
They start a freshman at left guard, Dominique Taylor.
There's also Bonner out. Michael Bonner's the offensive right guard.
66. So it's, yeah, Bonner. It's Michael Bonner, the right guard. And, you know, all these, the offensive linemen, they all wear knee braces, thank goodness. Pretty much mandatory. Don't see anyone on the line offensively that doesn't have a knee brace on of some sort these days, it seems like. Not everybody wears them, but they're out there, and they're saying, yeah, the heck for going to the sideline. We're going to take you to the locker room. And if it's too bad, they might take him to have some x-rays. But it's a slow walk, and he's pointing to the left side. So let's hope that young man is okay and recuperates. Chance Castleberry, 63, is his backup.
Of Marcus, that's his first one, 15 yards.
Meanwhile,
15-yard penalty.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the coach of Marcus. So Atkinson is flagged for 15 with 15 seconds to go. Yeah, I guess if he wanted to get his point across, here's a pretty good chance to do it because Mac has it at their own 34, only 15 seconds to go. Fred Aloso takes a knee, and MacArthur, I think, dodges the bullet there toward the end of the second quarter, yet they're down by 14, a lot of what-ifs and mistakes made, but they're still in it. We still have 2 quarters of football to go. Marcus 24, MacArthur 10. Your homecoming queen coming up next.
Homecoming, MacArthur 2018. Their team down to Marcus 24-10. The Cardettes are ready on this homecoming night. The nominees for homecoming queen and her court are standing by also. Let's pick up the activities downfield.
Graduating seniors, Michelle Tejera, Gianni Adams, Alexis Velasquez, Chelsea Spencer, Sierra Nash, and Elizabeth Carmona. The Cardettes are honored to once again perform the routine that began a legacy here at MacArthur. Cardette alumni, this one's for you. Step high, Cardettes.
Yeah, nice performance by the MacArthur Cardettes. And while they get ready for the homecoming queen and her nominees, let's go to the highlights. It was a nice start for the Cardinals on this lateral. Gerald Fly, the junior, picks it up. That pass intended for Tyler Edwards, but behind the line of scrimmage. Fly scoops it up at the 11 and goes in untouched. The game not 2 minutes old, and the Cardinals have an early 7-0 lead. A field goal from 37 yards makes it 10-0, and then Marcel Brooks goes 32 yards for Marcus's first touchdown. That came 8:08 in the second quarter, but he's not done. Brooks goes 11 on this run to make it 14-10. That touchdown not 5 minutes from the last one. For the Cards, they would like to see Gabriel Sanders do a little bit more than this. This play goes for 39 yards. But it wasn't long before Marcus and Sean Watson right here takes it away from Burris and goes the remaining 60 yards. Sean Watson, and that made it 24-10 with 1:06 to go in the first half. Numbers-wise, the Marauders had more first downs. They were 9 of 13 with an interception, 92 yards up top, 114 on the ground for a total of 206. 2 turnovers and 4 flags for 35 yards. Cardinals held to 4 first downs, 3 of 6 and an interception, just 33 yards up top, 69 steps on the ground, a total of 102. They also had 2 turnovers. They were flagged 3 times for 25 yards. Well, it'll be a special night for a special young lady as a homecoming queen nominees are being introduced, and let's pick it up right now.
Athletic trainer. She has been a magna cum laude scholar for 5 years. She would like to attend Texas State University and earn a master's degree in nursing. She is escorted by her mother, Gloria Ogiamayan, and her brothers, Femi and Kasim Omalade. Grace Taylor is in Capella Choir, Mac Theater, Fire Truck Crew, and professional dancing. She is a summa cum laude scholar and was named Best Actress in the musical. Grace loves volunteering with Student Council. Grace hopes to attend Harvard. She is escorted by Orlando Flores. Heidi Hernandez is a member of the MacArthur Band and has been in color guard and winter guard for 4 years. Heidi would like to attend Texas Women's University and study social work. She is escorted by her parents, Novia Lopez and Artemio Gonzalez. Keely Jordan is a varsity cheerleader and has been a member of Debate Club for 3 years, Book Club, Ignite, FCCLA, and Environmental Club. She was named Most Valuable in Ignite and in Human Services. Keely would like to attend SMU and major in Political Science and Human Rights. She is escorted by Fred Jordan. Syra Rodriguez is in our educational practicum and teaches kindergarten and 3rd grade. She has been awarded with Student of the Month and is a summa cum laude scholar. Syra is very involved in her church. She would like to major in education to teach elementary school. She is escorted by her mother, Elda Gutierrez, and Eduardo Rodriguez. Ivan Rahman is a senior class officer and on the KMAC team. He is in National Honor Society and Student Council, as well as National Technical Honor Society. He is a summa cum laude scholar and was the junior class favorite. He plans to attend UT Austin and major in electrical engineering. He is escorted by his sister, Nazia Ayub. Jordi Sanchez is on the MacArthur debate team and Spanish Club MVP. He is a magna cum laude scholar. Jordi would like to attend Texas Tech and get his major in graphic design. He was a class favorite finalist his junior year. He is escorted by Margarita Sura. Joseph Martinez is on the MAC cross country team. He enjoys running, watching football, making music, playing basketball, and tutoring. He has been recognized for perfect attendance and has received many cross-country medals. He hopes to get a track and cross-country scholarship and major in English. He's escorted by his mother, Argelia Rodriguez. Marquinton Barnes enjoys playing volleyball and playing frisbee. He is on the varsity cross-country, track, and basketball. He is also a member of fire truck crew and KMAC. Marquinton is a cum laude scholar. He would like to get a track scholarship and study studio and audio production. He's escorted by Consuela, Larry, and Michaela Barnes. Shadab Amir is in National Honor Society and on the debate team. He is magna cum laude scholar and all-region debate team member. He enjoys volunteering at his mosque when he can. He would like to attend UT and work on his MBA. He is escorted by Danielle Pritchard. Please give these MacArthur High School seniors a well-deserved round of applause. They are all honorable representatives of MacArthur High School. The 2018 King will be announced tomorrow night at 9 p.m. at the Homecoming Dance. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. It is with great pleasure that we present MacArthur High School's 2018 Homecoming Queen, Zaira Rodriguez. The sash is being presented by Juliet Quinn, Student Council President. The robe is being presented by Nancy Jesudison, Student Council Vice President. The flowers and crown are being presented by MacArthur Principal Deandra Brown. Our 2018 Homecoming Queen in the court will now receive the saber salute and honors from the JROTC Saber Guard.
So congratulations to senior Zaira Rodriguez, the homecoming queen here at Irving MacArthur for 2018. Big night. 24-10, Marcus on top of the cards. We've got a second half of football coming up on our ICTN Game of the Week.
MacArthur will take the kickoff to begin the third quarter of play. Down by 14, but still plenty of time to make a game of this. The question is, has Sanders recovered during the halftime with the leg cramp? Can he get out there and run the football? And what can these Cardinals do offensively to get some consistency? And more importantly for them, put some points on the board. Marcus scoring right toward the end of the second quarter. Could have had 3, maybe 7 more points, but Nussmeier throws an interception into the end zone. As Coach Mullins looks on. Congratulations again to Zaira Rodriguez, this year's homecoming queen. Complete with the nice red robe. Very cool. All right, Heffernan waiting for the okay from the officials. He's pooched it every time tonight, except this time he sends it almost into the end zone. It dies at the 1. And picked up to the near side and across the 20 down to the 24-yard line is number 12, Jacob Reyes, who was going to let it go. make that DeMarcus Sanders 18. Was going to let it go. Thought it was going to carry on into the end zone. And then it just had a nice bounce at the one where he had to field it.
Yeah, two ways to look at that. The kickoff works in favor of Marcus, but they over-pursued on the return, and you get a decent return out to the 22. It could have been a horrendous start.
So a nice little break for MacArthur. Veloso will stay in at quarterback. Fakes the handoff, goes left, has a man streaking incomplete. Looked like he tried to hit Feliciano, number 10, on a crossing pattern. That's one of their good little plays they like to run, with Feliciano dragging after the fake handoff from one side of the field to the other. Fred Aloso couldn't connect. That is Sanders. Good news. Back in the lineup, right behind the quarterback, just to his right. Man in motion, stays pretty much like a fullback, and they give to Sanders. Breaks through that first line with a nice burst of speed, but when he hits that second level, he stood up by the linebackers and the defensive end, Mark DeGraves, and ends up with maybe 4 on the play.
At second level included Ethan Barr, the junior linebacker. Just lowered the shoulder.
They have Brand playing the nose tackle instead of an end. It's Graves on one side. Fred Aloso being rushed, pursued, and down he goes. Not a lot of time, as Brand, number 83, who we just mentioned, they moved him over from an end to a nose tackle. Goes right up the gut. Watch him to the right of your screen. Nice little tackle.
Got a good reach. He's a senior. Has a good wingspan.
So the Cardinals are forced to punt it. Fontaine is there at his 42. Sidesteps one, doesn't get any further. And that's where Marcus will set up shop, 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line. So not a real promising first series offensively for Mac. Remember, Mac scored once defensively. Marcus has scored a defensive touchdown. And the player to keep an eye on is 22, Tyson Edwards, who's played much of the game at running back for Dinka, who's their star. And they give to Edwards left side. Edwards for 7. And a very successful runner so far in the early stages of the ballgame.
Yeah, we had thought we would see a steady diet of Justin Dinka, the senior, but Edwards, the junior, has been the more impressive. And there's a big play here. The ball right between the hash marks and all kinds of options for Nussmeier.
Blake Williams on that last tackle. This is 22 again, Edwards. And Edwards gets the first down, just a power right move following his blocks. Pretty much that whole right side of the line. Evan Fowler, the tackle, he pulled on the play. Osborne as well.
It was kind of a rush. The offensive line was set. You have to be set for a couple of seconds, but they kind of rushed up to the line and then took off, in essence, kind of like a quick pitch in baseball. It kind of surprised the defensive front four from Mac.
1st down and 10. Nussmeier with plenty of time can pick his receivers and finds a man wide open at the 22-yard line. It's Grant Hutcherson. Came in with 21 catches. The senior still looking for his first touchdown of the season. But boy, he had all day to throw, John.
About 28 yards, great protection, and wide open downfield near the 20-yard line. That's close to 21 yards on that.
Fabian Areola is in for Michael Bonner at right guard. We saw him injured late second quarter for Marcus. So they have a replacement at the guard position. Not going very far there. Quarterback Fred Aloso, or excuse me, Nussmeier is saddled by Blake Burris, third on the team in tackles. Right side of your screen, watch him come in and beats the blocker. Lands a little gingerly on his left wrist. Takes him a while to get up after the play, but Nussmeier had nowhere to go.
Loss of 7.
First thing to ask yourself is, where is Brooks? Where is number 9? Do you see him anywhere? I don't, actually. Nussmeier down and out, complete to Robinson. Robinson gets it about the 20-yard line.
10 of it back.
Jamil Rashad, 21 now in the backfield.
Yeah,
so,
Rashad hadn't played much.
No, so you got Rashad and Edwards being the double runners. Dinka not even part of it. Plenty of time again at the 5 and dropped. Well, tried to hit Green. Hit him in the hands.
Into double coverage.
I mean, right in the hands, John.
Perfect pass. That's an error. Give him an error. Little shove late to the mass by Hassan.
Heffernan will try a 37-yard field goal. Let's see if Marcus has to call time. They had some personnel issues.
3 seconds.
Couple left to get the snap off in time. It's long enough. Did he get it through the uprights? Yes. So Heffernan connects on another field goal. And Marcus extends their lead to 17. It was in doubt whether or not they would even get the snap off on time. First, they had too many players out there, and perhaps the personnel issue is maybe Bonner, who's one of the offensive linemen, not in there in the second half, who got hurt. Who takes his place? But they got enough people on and off and get the 3 points.
Well, the lead now, Rob, this is a huge series. You're trailing by 17. You want to get something going here. Get the Cards back within striking distance, so they're going to send middle deep. I think it was Sanders was back middle deep last time. They've also got Carius Key in case of a short kickoff.
Now they're putting some of their faster guys up close. I think pretty much daring Marcus to kick it short again. Last time they did kick it straight away. And it was a pretty good kick to boot.
Total leather.
Marcus going right to left. The traveling white uniforms, red numbers. MacArthur and they're all red, trimmed in black. Beautiful night for football. No rain, no wind. And there's the pooch kick. And a half-hearted fair catch made it. It seemed like from this angle, but he very wisely, DeLangel went down after the catch. Didn't chance it, and he gives his teammates offensively good field position.
Yeah, they start
at
from
their
the
35.
Start from the 35. You need a couple of first downs in this series, and we'll see how Sanders figures in the offensive scheme on this second possession of the second half.
With one whole quarter to go, you don't have to get it all at once. A big play would be nice to get things started. Quarterback keeps, maybe for a couple. Not a lot there. Barr, one of a couple of players there. Watson also come up from the safety spot, and Ethan Kapler, the nose guard, is back in defensively as well.
Now this defense for Marcus, they allow about 135 yards of rushing a game.
They also have Nuwamana, number 6, who has played a lot tonight. He wasn't even second deep on the two-man roster. Oh, we got a man wide open. Here on the near sideline, underthrown but caught by Key. Carius Key took off, put the hand up in the air on the sideline and said, I'm open. And Fredeloso with a little bit more on the ball, that would have been 6 points.
24 yards all told. It's a running pass. It's a little short, but on his way down and able to hang on to it.
Well, Ty Johnson, the sophomore, is going against the senior Key. And Key has a lot more height advantage than he does on Johnson. Maybe they'll go that direction even more. This is Sanders. Sanders wrapped up by Watson. But if you look at the height difference between the two, and now they're bringing out Brooks, Marcel Brooks, who we didn't see on that first offensive series much. They now have Brooks, the Marauders do.
Yeah, Squires has come out, number 20, the defensive back.
And they've got him out playing defensive back. Come back to the near side, and Key kind of gave up on that a little bit as maybe they were trying to work against Johnson. I mean, if you look at the size difference between the corner and the receiver, Key has a definite size advantage
That is
on the
a
corner.
mismatch.
Oh,
Key's 6'2".
there's Brooks. They got him lined up on the far side.
Bakarian now in as a near side.
You watch Brooks. I bet you they send him. Brooks is just to the top of the defensive line in a standing position. You see if they send him. Yep, here he comes. Fredeloso gets past one, but not the second. And that's how you put pressure on the defensive unit. What's that, Disgraves? 44 or 45 also.
Gainey
In on the stop. Watch it again. And Brooks kind of slowed him down a little bit. And then Gainey came up with the stop, number 45. Tyler Gainey, a sophomore on this team. So Mac has got to go for it.
They need 8. They're close to it.
And it's a quick kick. They're going to try to pin him back and do something with it. Great little kick. Mac will let that bad boy roll as far as it can. So they're playing the odds, thinking if they can keep them deep, they can play field position on the next opportunity.
See the losses, that tough one to Coppell and Louisville, 14-10 to the Fighting Farmers, a game that we brought you, and all three by, an average of 7 points. Those losses in the Hebron also. 3 district losses by an average of right at 7 points.
What the standings would be if they won just one of those. And here's a hole right up the middle.
Is it ever?
And that's another big gain by Tyson Edwards. Again, folks, he came in with just 159 yards before this ball game. And he is really taking hold and taking advantage of the time played. And here he goes again, left side, 7-8 yards at a carry. He averaged about 5.5, or check that, 6.5 yards a carry coming in. He's not hurting that average at all, and he's getting even more opportunities. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but he just keeps the legs driving and plows over the 35 to the 36. And I know we've been saying how much of a key series this has been, but it's definitely been a tough one for Mac, the young man with the orange hoodie on just there, or the toboggan. That is Michael Bonner, number 66. He's on crutches. His replacement is Fabian Areola, number 68. It's Brooks in motion. They fake it to Brooks, go to Edwards. Edwards gets to that second level before he's wrapped up by Lazo Reyes. Second on the team in tackles, coming in with 59. And now they go to Brooks, and they just say, work your magic in the open field, Marcel.
That was not a lateral. They're right on the line.
Well, Marcel feels good about himself tonight, and why not? It seems like every time he touches the ball, something's going on. Now, Coach Atkinson told me weeks ago he's, his #1 D1 player. The quarterback has had offers or people from LSU to Ole Miss looking at him before the season started. But right now, I think you've got some scouts probably looking at Brooks, who's going in motion there. Brooks says, give it to me, and Nussman goes, no, we got the screen set up to Edwards. Edwards. Player falls, ball's loose. And there is a Marauder just waiting for it. Robinson, #3, to fall on it. You coach your kids, follow the play, don't give up on the play. And watch this, you think you're going to go to Brooks to the right. Brooks has his hands up in the air, and everybody in red jerseys went after Brooks. Meanwhile, on the left side, here's Edwards and his teammates running the screen pass. Fly knocked it out, but again, Robinson fell on it. He was there. And this is not really the defensive series we had hoped for Mac. A little quick snap, nothing to it. Right side, they get to their third running back, Jamil Rashad.
But you saw how quick they got up to the line of scrimmage, the unbalanced line. Mac making some adjustments defensively. Adrian Steptoe in as a linebacker. A little more deliberate on this play.
Yeah, Rashad stays in at running back, so it's their third running back they've used. They opt to throw, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. This could be a pick six. Plenty of running room. Will the quarterback catch him from behind? And he's knocked down at the 13-yard line.
64 yards on the return. Number 37,
Blake Williams. Oh, Blake was there. And maybe it was Nussmeier's pressure trying to force the play. Williams read it. Watch here, Nussmeier to his left. Tried a little sidearm pass trying to hit Sutherland. And there was Williams going the distance.
Great recognition.
Yeah, he had a convoy, just ran out of petrol. 2 minutes to go and another whole quarter left to go. Quick toss, near side. Sanders, the corner, pushed out of bounds.
Runs over some with a fire crew.
Oh, they're fired up. She goes, that's okay. That's all right. One of the fire crew members was a homecoming queen nominee. I don't know if it was her or not. Stops the clock at a $1:56. They can get a first. They just need a couple yards at the 3. Sanders, right side, touchdown flag called right in the middle of the line. And this could push him back 10 yards.
Ball start, right guard, 5 yards, second down.
Along the right side is where the movement occurred. First penalty of the second half for either team.
Comes at a bad time. MacArthur trying to cut this down to 10. Manageable. They can score a touchdown here and have a whole quarter left. Here comes the blitz. Sanders going nowhere fast.
Well, they sure looked offsides.
Yeah, they sure did. Big number 51 was there, Justin Osborne, who plays left tackle. They've got him in defensively now. So that's when you mean business, when you call your best offensive lineman and you tell them you got to go have them on the defensive line. Third down and 9. I don't think they would settle for 3 here. One-on-one coverage, top of your screen. They're going to run the screen to the far side. Good pursuit, good read by Watson. And Watson has him down at the line of scrimmage. Man, we have called Sean Watson's name quite quite a few times tonight.
Number 12 on number 12.
The senior strong safety read it very well. Needed one block on Watson. Look at all the space past Watson.
Yeah, Watson just stepped around the offensive tackle. Here we go.
4th down. Got to get just a nose of the football inside the 3. Right side, pressure's on. He's got to get rid of it, and he's caught from behind by guess who? Marcel Brooks, number 9.
Well, that's a shame. That big return, and they take it all the way down to the 12, and the drive ends at the 20. They lose 8 yards.
Have you seen a player kind of dominate a game like Brooks has for a while?
Made his presence known. Here's the 4th down play, and the rollout to the near side.
Look to your left. Look, he just runs around people to get to the quarterback. Wasted opportunities. All right, probably one more play before the break. Handoff, Edwards, right up the middle, over a tired MacArthur defensive line. Edwards with 12, and that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. So we finished 3, headed for 4. Marcus 27, Mac 10. Back with the final quarter in a moment. So we're down to 1 quarter. Marcus with the lead and the football. In a fresh set of downs. Left side to Edwards for 3 or so. Tripped up at the line of scrimmage. By the middle of that line, Victorinen, number 31, first time we've talked about Victor, or Quincy tonight. So he's now in, number 31, the 2nd string linebacker. A lot of faces, a lot of players that have suited up or playing in this ball game. There goes Edwards. Shifty, quick, everything you like in a running back.
Tripped up, but able to have that body lean stay forward.
You got to ask yourself, John, only 159 yards coming in. Is it a case of Dinka, who's one of about 3 or 4 players that Coach Atkinson believes is D1 material? Is the fact that Dinka, the senior, just a little bit bigger, gets most of the playing time. But in tonight's game, boy, his speed has really been apparent. Wrapped up by Silva. Not until another 4 yards. And now we get to a point. Here's a team, Marcus, that was just go, go, go their last series. And now, as we're into the final quarter of the ball game, taking their time, milking the clock. One-on-one coverage near side. Mac bunching it up just a little in the middle. Fake to Brooks. Go to Edwards. Cuts the corner. A real slicing type player who can run sideways just as fast as he can forwards. A slashing mode, if you will.
Number 15 coming out for the Cards, Noah Gibson. Lost his helmet, so he has to come out for a play. You know, this is the first season since '03 that the local schools will not end the regular season with a crosstown matchup. Flower Mound ends the year against the Cards. Irving ends the year against Hebron, and Nimitz will play the Coppell Cowboys to end the regular season. It's been a while since that's happened, 15 years.
This is Brooks. Brooks jumping over people, directing traffic. A little aggressive with that forearm, the long stiff arm, but Flower Mound and Mack. Let's see if they did call a penalty. There is a flag down away from the play, but close in the vicinity of the running.
Well, that little extra shove to the face mask that Edwards delivered.
Number 14.
He just slugged a Cardinal player on the sideline.
Right, they didn't call it against him, it's against Mack. So unsportsmanlike against Hassan. It's Rob Jasper, the referee. Umpire Phelps Benjamin, Francisco Amador, your field judge. Line judge Dustin Farmer. Buckley's your back judge. Jeremy Hill, your linesman. You see there your side judge, Christopher Coleman. Tonight, a whole big staff. 1st and 10, here we go again. Brooks right. Gets hit pretty hard, and I think after a while you show a lot of emotion. You're going to have somebody on the other team really ready to unload.
Yeah, just kind of rubbed his nose in it right there.
Kenneth Peoples, 25, one of a couple that lowered the boom. Watch here, he's nothing but like a jet sweep or a little reverse and lowered the shoulder. People said, okay, take that. Edwards up the middle, sidesteps. Tough man to bring down.
I think he's got it.
Great balance, really good balance. Shifty runner. All the good ones can start and stop really quick. That's what makes him such a tough guy to handle. Rashad will go off.
Henderson Silva in.
Hutcherson comes in as well. Number 7.
You know, they got 10 first downs. The Marauders have collected 10 first downs in the second half. Now 11.
Goes Edwards, right side. He's in for the touchdown.
8 yards to pay dirt. Edwards' first score of the night. And on the year, rushing touchdown number 4. Well, that's an 80-yard drive.
Night for Tyson. That pretty much ends all hopes for MacArthur with 8:15 to go and down by, could be 24 for the extra point. Waiting for the official call.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Flag. Number 52, that's his first unsportsmanlike of the game.
So unsportsmanlike against Jacob Hoffman, the center. They'll add that to the kickoff, so Matt could get some pretty good field position to start the next series. We've got a penalty flag, might be an offsides against MacArthur, trying to block the kick. Usually on those plays, you just refuse it. I don't think you can. All right, so they're going to retry it. I was going to say, can you take the 5
and give
off our 15 on the kickoff? I mean, he made it. I don't know why they had to take it, you know, unless they wanted to go for 2.
Hey, it all has to balance out.
He did miss it. So, okay, we're going to take it. Marcus came in averaging just over 27 points a game. And they've got a new star tonight in Mr. Edwards.
Yeah, the deep pitch, able to beat the cornerback to the pylon. At one point, Cardinals had a 10-0 lead. They now scored 34-0.
Well, the one thing that's really hurt both of these teams is that they're a 500 team statistically. They both score about as much as they give up, and they gain yardage-wise about as much as they give up. In fact, Marcus, they average giving up 100 more yards on offense than they get themselves offensively coming into tonight's game.
Well, the Cards, if they do not rally, would fall to 2-4. Now last year they were 1-6 in the district. 2 years ago they were also 1-6. So improvement made district standing wise. Cards were 2-8 overall last year, so they've won 2 more than they did last season, and they can end up with 5 wins. It's teams chasing Flower Mound right now. They beat Coppell, it's over.
Yep. Beat the Cowboys. They play them tomorrow night. I think that's a long shot for the Cowboys to defeat Flower Mound. Coppell were to win and Louisville beats Heber, and then there'd be a 3-way tie going into the final week. But we don't gamble on high school sports, but the odds makers would say that's just not going to happen.
Marcus, a preseason pick to finish 4th in the district.
And may not even make the playoffs.
Yeah,
Surprise team Louisville. They are just taking care of business, winning 4 games in a row. And right up there in second place, they have the highest attendance per team in the district. In 5-6A, it's Carroll, Geyer, Fossil Ridge, Keller right now, the 4 teams.
Well, the third meeting between these teams all time, it may be 0-3 against the Marauders for the Cards.
It's been so long since they played, back in the late 90s. It's like we're starting over. Juggle there. And despite having to kick off at their own 25, Mac doesn't go too far down the road to 32-yard line. But in 5-6A, Carroll unblemished. And everyone else has a couple of losses during the year and 1 or 2 likewise. So you got Denton Geyer, Fossil Ridge, and Keller. Northwest Eaton. Boy, you don't say their name very often, do you?
Well, the first time. I've seen it tonight. All the emphasis on Southlake and the Keller schools.
All right, so Harden back in at quarterback. And we've got a 5-yard penalty and the play clock down to 0.
That's her 3rd penalty here in the second half.
A little late getting out onto the field after the call. Jacob Reyes in at wide receiver. A little low snap. Akariai gets the catch. Akariai with the first down. Nice, good field blocking by Reyes. And Akariai gets almost to the 40-yard line. Over 20 yards on that pitch and catch there. Harden to Akariai. Nothing fancy, John, just a wide receiver screen. And he cuts it outside and had a lane to work with. There's that block. Nicely done on Pellegrin. Didn't see it coming.
Well, we'll see if their 4th possession here in the second half can result in points. Going deep.
Harden stands in the pocket. Ball is knocked around and incomplete. Coverage by the Marauders. Jaden Robinson, who's also a wide receiver. 3rd on the depth chart as a cornerback. At this point in time with a 24-point lead. Marcus playing some other guys out there to get some playing time. Harden again trying to hit Akariai, and that is a good call by the officials as Ty Johnson called for going on the back of Akariai. We talked about Ty Johnson and his stature, not very tall, about going to his side, trying to take advantage of the mismatch. He was beat by a couple of steps and just jumped all over the back of Akariai.
Defensive pass interference, number 10 on the defense. It'll be 15 yards from the previous spot, first down.
So just 15 yards against Johnson.
Go back to the line of scrimmage, mark off the 15 yards, we'll take it down close to the 25.
wrapped up. Might have got just 2 yards out of a play. Wrapped up by Pellegrin. Remember Pellegrin? He was the one that got hit pretty hard on that pass play a couple of plays back.
Cardinals only have 17 yards of rushing in the second half.
That is not what we expected coming into this game. Harden going deep, has a man, they fight for it, and it's that same thing. It's Akariai against Ty Johnson. So I think everyone's got the memo. Try to take advantage of the size difference. Harden just didn't get enough on the football. It stops the clock at 7:13. We'll have another game on IC10 before the season's all wrapped up for us. And that'll be Nimitz against Irving. That should be a fun one, always is. Receiver split screen. Maybe just a couple of yards.
Juggled it and able to regain possession, Feliciano.
So Jose's first catch maybe of the night. First or second, they haven't targeted him that much. 4th down and 9. Cards have to go for it. Late stages of this Thursday night football at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium. Pressure again, and down he goes. Wrapped up by Mark Desgraves, the junior defensive lineman. Put a stop to the drive with 6.5 minutes to go.
Well, not a good second half for the Cards. There are 4 possessions, punt, and the ball has gone over on downs in the last 2, and that one dragged down by the Graves. The junior, he'll be back next year. 4th possession now for the Marauders, who take over at their own 29, leading by 24.
And when you have the big lead and you're out there defensively and you know a team has to throw the football, it's a lot easier as a D lineman to get off the snap knowing you're trying to feature your opponent and get to the quarterback as fast as you can. Here goes Edwards. Edwards left side to the 42. Kind of reminds me of Sanders when they played Nimitz. Remember how easy it was for MacArthur Sanders to break through and hit all those long runs? He scored 5 touchdowns in that game. It looks the same way when Tyson gets out there. So we got the backup, Carter Beer, now in at quarterback. You've got Rashad and Ballard in the backfield. Ballard, good start back in the first quarter. He will split to the near side. And Beer just gives to Rashad. Penalty flags, a legal procedure against Marcus.
Let's see.
Never got set before the snap. Number 27 still moving, 5 yards.
In the second half, 12 first downs. 134 yards through the air.
In the Dallas Morning News 6A poll, we've got Flower Mound at 12, Coppell at 15, Hebron at 20, along with Louisville. So well represented in the district. In the Morning News top 20. Rashad pushed down after maybe 2. Max says, hey, I stole the ball. It's Burris, 32. Say it's mine. Allen, no surprise. Duncanville, solid. Southlake, somewhat of a surprise. Cedar Hill, DeSoto, always good. The Colts at 6. Haltom steady. The Buffaloes, Cinderella season at 8-0.
Missing the Lamar Vikings. They're unbeaten through the first 8 weeks.
Lake Ridge, first year as a 6A team, doing quite well. 2nd down. Rashad left side, maybe 4, maybe 5. Josh Howell, last man off the pile there. As we're under 5 minutes, take a look at some of the Marcus fans who made the trip. Nice halftime and drill team performance by that school. Mac kids and band still whooping and hollering. Why not? But it's a school night.
It is, but I still love the 7 o'clock starts.
Me and you both, brother. 3rd and 9. Beard just goes left to Edwards, and Edwards is tackled right around the ankles. Peoples, 25, coming up from his safety spot to make the tackle. 4th down, does Marcus punt the ball? Surprised to see Edwards back out there. I thought maybe Rashad would carry the mail to finish out the game. Think about someone like Edwards for this team that's backing up Dinka, and what a 1-2 combination they have. And Marcus wants to call time right before the play clock went to 0.
Well, the Marauders are now going to go to 5-4 overall, 3-3 in the district. There's the Marcus season schedule to date. You can put a W by MacArthur, and that'll snap a 3-game losing streak. They opened up the year winning 4 of their first 5 games, and they'll have a perfect record this season against the Irving schools.
Break that 3-game losing streak. I wonder how much that had a role in how this game started, as Marcus got off to a terrible start, missed playing in the opening kickoff, and then offensively just couldn't get anything going.
And then that 80-yard drive, that touchdown capped off by the Edwards 8-yard run.
Yeah, found themselves down 10-0, and then they kind of picked up the pace a little bit offensively. Quick snap, but more importantly, they put Marcel Brooks back there. They used him as a wildcat, and then they turn around and they throw to him. Mac is going to hold on 4th down and get the ball back with just over 3 minutes to go. Mac has the toughest game of the season next week to finish it all up for the 2018 year against district leading Flower Mound and Coach Brian Basil and his troops. That team has really done well offensively. You see Irving at Hebron, Nimitz at Coppell, and Louisville at Marcus. Every time I think Marcus has something, they they turn around and they come back and they falter. After beating Nimitz by just 4, and they lost a couple of others. Harden right up the middle, no one is home. Looks like Akari has it, and he does. Akari with the pass and catch across the middle.
Only 3 yards on that one.
Just a case of just not enough at this point in time. Marauders, they now have their 3rd string secondary in there, so they should do a lot of damage throwing the football. Pass complete to Key, number 16. Another 1st down.
But not enough time.
Flower Mound won 1 game in the 50s. That was against Irving. They defeated McKinney Boyd, putting up 41 points. But that's the only 2 times that they scored over 40, or scored over 20, or over to get past the 30-point mark. So they've done so tonight. So they've ended some droughts, if you will, offensively, as well as points on the board. That pass incomplete. Harden being blitzed. Carnigan applying pressure to the sophomore quarterback. 155. And movement on the left side of the line. 15 years. Last time the local schools didn't end the season in a matchup, but we'll have on IC10 the last school matchup.
And who would that be?
Nimitz and Irving.
Likes.
They play tomorrow as we're taping this on November 1st. That game November 2nd, 2018. Back in 03, Mac played the Gophers, Nimitz the Warriors, and Irving played Creekview to end the season. Eye. Inside the 20, a little shy of the first, so the clock will still roll. And for Coach Mullins and company, it's got to be a disappointing loss. Notice Josh Howell, we wondered if he had shoulder problems. Well, he's on the sideline. No, shoulder pads are off, so
yeah,
he must have indeed hurt that shoulder early in the ball game.
Well, keep moving. They're twisting and turning.
Yeah. Down to inside the 10 to Reyes. Reyes had 3 touchdowns coming into tonight's game.
But the Cards are going to fall to 2-4 in the district. They can end the year. They can go 5-5 this year. See what this is about here.
Let's see what the
during the play, at the spot of the foul, we got block in the back, number 67 on the offense. That'll be 10 yards, first down.
Well, block in the back, Jeremiah Clark, 6'1", 305 pounds.
Well, they've got 40 yards in penalties here in the second half.
Remember when the pros, when it was just strange if they had one guy over 300 pounds?
Yeah, an oddity.
Yeah, it was an oddity back in the 60s, mid-late 60s. If there was a 300-pounder, it was a freak of nature.
Mm-hmm.
They give them the first. They go to the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown, Reyes.
All right.
Reyes with his 4th touchdown of the season. And MacArthur gets on the board with 1 minute exactly left in the ball game.
All right, 18 yards. Jump ball, and Reyes came down with it.
Cheerleaders and staff, and they get a chance to cheer it. The extra point good.
All right.
It was drilled like a sidewinder. 17:34, there's the replay.
Almost into triple coverage. He had Espinoza beat. Espinoza had his back turned to the quarterback, and Harden serving up his 4th touchdown pass of the year. Nice takeaway there in front of Jake Young.
Well, you need a 17-point play. That's what you need.
Yeah, let's see, do I have one?
You need one of those John Tyler Plano East comebacks.
One for the ages. Let's see, the Cardinals tonight, 9 of 18 in passing and the 1 interception. But a total of 65 yards in penalties.
Penalties and just not able to be consistent offensively.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, there are ways maybe to try to stop Brooks and company, but you got to tip your hat to Brooks and Edwards. Those 2 offensive guys just really made the difference and made it tough on Mac to stop them defensively, and your only chance was to try to match them score for score, try to play keep away, and offensively they just couldn't do it. So Yeverino, the way they're set up, will try for the onside kick. Gets the bounce, hits one of the MacArthur players, doesn't go 10 yards. The Mac players were patient about it. They were hoping for that second bounce. You're looking for the second bounce on an onside kick. Get that first one off the tee, and it's that second one that you want to propel high in the sky and knock off your defenders and have someone trailing the play to come up with the onside kick.
I'm looking for that second bounce on the fairway for about 75 or 80 yards.
Get that a lot, do you?
I need a little extra bounce roll.
Nussmeier back in at quarterback.
Yeah, I see that.
And they hand off to Edwards. Are we looking to pad the stats, or I thought they would just take a knee.
Yeah, about one more play will do it, and probably will take a knee. On the ground, Marcus over 200 yards of rushing. We talk about balance, 226 through the air and 231 on the ground.
And we'll have all the final stats and highlights here in a moment, so we'll let John get the pencil and paper all ready to go, and we'll have one more play. And that should do it. As Flower Mound evens their district record at 3-3, they go 5-4 overall. Mac drops to 2-4 in district, and as the teams shake hands, take a look at that, and then we'll go to a break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up for Homecoming 2018. So MacArthur loses at Homecoming 34-17 to the Marauders, who got a slow start, but when they got things going, the offense went into gear. But it wasn't good at the beginning for Marcus. First of all, what appeared to be an incomplete pass was a backwards pass. There was Fly, heads up on his part. He goes for the touchdown. MacArthur had a 10-0 lead, and you're thinking, hey, these Cardinals have something going, an exciting sideline. But then enter one Marcel Brooks. As a wide receiver, he's dangerous. As a wildcat, he's dangerous plus some. Great speed and great moves. Scored the touchdown. Then they said, hey, if it worked once, how about twice? This time he carries 3 defenders with him in the process. And Marcus is on a roll. It looked like Mac was going to make some noise here a little bit. They were moving the football, and then Sean Watson, the safety, strips the football. No one can touch him. Great speed. And that pretty much sealed the deal for the night. They still have a lot of weapons. Didn't even use their big running back, Dinka. I mean, they had Brooks, and they also had Tyson Edwards. He brought a lot of speed to the table for Marcus. Put him up there with 34 points. A little bright spot here. Harden comes in, throws a toss to Jacob Reyes, his 4th touchdown of the season. But a little bit too late. They couldn't stop the Marauders, winning by 17. Your stats, well, first downs pretty much tell the story, and so does total yards. Almost 460 total yards. And talk about a balanced attack, rushing and passing for Marcus. Both teams with 3 turnovers and a little sloppy play and penalties just as well on both sides. But the Marauders come out on top. They will take on Louisville in an important matchup to end the season. MacArthur will travel to Flower Mound. So not a happy night for the Cards, but you know who did have a happy night? It was Syra Rodriguez. She is this year's homecoming queen for the MacArthur Cardinals, and congratulations to her. Again, the final, Marcus 34, MacArthur 17 for John Nelson. I'm Rob Willman. For everyone here at ICTN, we appreciate you watching, and until next time, have a good evening.